Bam.
Yep.
Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the final episode, or I guess part 1 of the final season, part 5 squared multiplied by 4.
Yeah, it was great. I think we talked about it a little bit in a little special video stuff that's coming out before this. Yeah, we talked a little bit about it. Like, talked about how, basically it's 3 episodes all jammed together in one. And honestly, for how they did it, it was really well done, man. It was really well done, man. Attack on Titan is just hitting. It's kind of like you can't dislike Attack on Titan. Maybe you can dislike what the story is about, but you can't dislike how they're doing it, how they're producing it. Yeah.
Before we continue, there's gonna be a lot of spoilers in this episode. We're talking primarily about season 4, part 4, right?
Mm-hmm. But of
part
course,
3?
yes. But of course, it's like everything up until season 4 is fair game for us to talk about, because that's what it makes sense to do that, right?
So if you haven't seen it, like the video, subscribe, then you can leave if you don't want to get spoiled.
True. But if you're also a big Attack on Titan fan, we also have other discussion videos we posted about Attack on Titan on our channel. So just go check out our channel. We recently did a fun discussion where we talked about which main characters could potentially survive or even solo the rumbling. So if you're interested in a topic like that, we have that on our channel as well. But if you are a hardcore Attack on Titan fan, you're up to date with all the material, and you just want to get into some juicy discussions, here we are for that today.
Clarifying point. Bam has not read the manga, so
nope. I am a hardcore anime only for Attack on Titan. But Dr. Griffs, he has awakened his Sharingan and seen into the future, and he knows what's going to happen, or what is presumed to happen, because I've heard rumors that they might be changing.
Well, they definitely have readapted some things for the anime versus the manga. Like, remember the car scene where the guy was like trying to be on a car driving away, and they're trying to pull him? That was not illustrated in the manga.
Well, I think, that's the case for most anime adaptations, right? It's like the anime has a lot more time and energy to go into context. There's so much things you can do with certain, like 16 to 20 pages in showcasing. So even, I think that goes for almost any anime. It's like they'll always add a little bit of stuff to add a little bit more flavor and context to scenes. But the general message is like, people are getting stomped out and people are trying to escape, right?
Yeah, but there were some key scenes that weren't shown. That, like, the way where we ended is like chapter 134. And chapter 134 starts a certain way, and that was just omitted altogether. So I don't know if that is signs for a big change or a shift in trajectory. Or, yeah.
Do you think it'd be based on navigating spoiler territory? Is it okay for you to mention that part if it's already past that already?
Yeah, I mean, the scene was like there's like a baby on a cliff.
You sent me screenshots of that.
Yeah. I think like, was this a spoiler? That baby isn't important in the story, but I think it's powerful imagery for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll put editing magic. Put a screenshot of that, because that is not spoilers. That's just showcasing what the rumbling is doing over the world, right? And those are important characters, anything like that. There
was like, this is a mini spoiler, kind of. It's not that deep.
Okay.
His story is pregnant, right?
Yeah, we learned that in season 4, part 1.
Part 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So at the start of the rumbling, she was like giving birth, kind of.
Oh, really?
And like, yeah, that's what they show in the manga. She's like giving birth.
Interesting.
And that's the same chapter that showed this baby that's getting thrown off from a cliff. They're trying to.
Oh, I wonder why they chose not to add that part in, because that would have added an extra level of just emotional distress for me. Especially, like, when you show me those panels in the manga And of course, I have the screenshots up here for you guys to see. Bro, the level of just despair and just the mother, because how I interpreted that scene is the mom literally about to fall off this cliff. She doesn't want her baby to die, so she's like, "Here, please take my baby." And like, just I don't know. Just I know here a certain death, but at least I know there's a second of life left over here. And then you just see, at least I'm interpreting it as just all these random people just taking this baby and sending it back because they're like, oh, why am I sending this baby back? We should be running this way. And then they see the cliff and they're like, oh snap, send that baby back. But it's like inevitable because you're sending the baby back into the rumbling. Oh man, it's so sad. That's why I'm like, yo, Eren the whole villain, bro. Like it's nothing. When you show me scenes like that, how can I, you know what I mean? Like, how can I, you know?
What would you have then?
Bro, I already told you, bro. I would have rocked Marley. Marley, like if those scenes were happening in Marley, that's fair game. Okay, I would have rocked Marley. Then I would have brought my Titans back, and then I would have called in all the world people, be like, yo, listen, y'all saw what I did to Marley. If I get even, I'm gonna send ambassadors from Eldia over there, bro. And also keep in mind, I already got the founding Titan. I could see through all of my Eldian people already. I could connect with their memories, right? I'm sending my Eldian people in there to be a part of your world government. If you do any shady stuff, what happened to Marley is going to happen to you. That's fair, bro. That's fair, in my opinion, right? Because once you do this to Marley, people going to be, like what Armin said, people going to be chilling for like 50 to 100 years. They're not going to mess with you because they're like, yo, we don't got nothing to mess with you. Within that 50 to 100 year time, that's when you start planting your seeds. Of course, Eren is no longer going to be that person, but Eren's going to have to convince people in Eldia to be part of that plan. So when someone else is, eats Eren and becomes the founding Titan, they could keep up with that whole thing going on. That's how I would go about it. But I guess Eren is like, I don't want to be doing all of that extra work. That's not part of my idea of peace. So let's just clean everything up and just call it a day. But
I think he also said he's trying to free Ymir. You know what I'm saying? From the shackles, because he has to build all these Titans.
True. Oh, okay, so because it's kind of like, based on your perspective on it, is Eren just a product of Ymir's desire?
That is kind of hard to tell. I feel like, in some ways, because the past works in a weird way. Like I feel like she's seeing the future and the past at the same time. She's really been building the Titans. His initial Titan was the Attack Titan, and that is the essence of her. So,
okay,
I think in some ways she is leading him, but I think he also has his own autonomy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think the choices he made are his own choices and his future self telling him to think that way or leading him down that path.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of, you're really right. It's so weird how time works. Like my brain immediately thinks like, if you're thinking about time in terms of the past is your reality, also the future is your reality, it's like everything's got to be the present. And if everything feels like the present, then everything feels like it's not ending. So I can see Ymir feeling like this is infinite. Like I'm just here and it's never ending. And I can see like Eren being like, yo, I'm here. This is never ending. What's a guaranteed way to end this?
And it's kind of, I think it feels like the Doctor Strange moment when he was like,
Dormammu, I have a bargain.
or no, I didn't mean that one. When he was like sitting there meditating, he's like, there's only one option.
Oh,
you know what I'm
saying? Yeah.
Because time moves weird in the past. Zeke, or we've seen it earlier, like Zeke got blown up, and then within an hour or so he was rebirthed, but it felt like he was there for years. We've seen when Eren got his neck that happened in less than a split second, right? And they went through all of Eren's life.
Yeah.
So Eren's been there what must feel like years, if not centuries.
Right.
And he's only been there in the real world for probably like 2 days or 3 days.
Yeah.
Ymir has been there for like 2,000 years.
Yeah. Or at least to us, chronologically, she's been there for 2,000 years. But like, how long was it actually for her? You know?
I can't even, because if Eren been there for like 3 days, it feels like a century or centuries.
Woo.
She's been there for 2,000 years, literally building these things with a bucket of sand and water.
But why is she building it? That's what I never understood, man. It's like, why is she building? Does she feel like she can't? Because all Eren did was give her a pep talk and say like, yo, let's let's run the set on the world. And Ymir was like, I bet. Let's run the set on the world. Then she changed. So we're like for like, let's say millennia, thousands of years.
Yeah.
No one was really telling you, Ymir, to keep doing this thing. So is Ymir just permanently in that mental state of being a slave and she's just following the previous commands set up?
I mean, that's literally all she knew. Like, she was born into slavery. The king took her as his concubine.
Yeah.
Enslaved her, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Impregnated her. So this is all she knew.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense in ways. I mean, I'm happy I don't understand. Okay? She had only one perspective of life, her whole life. I would hope that through seeing her descendants live, that she would have changed her outlook on life. But I mean, no one directly talked to her before. You know what I'm saying? True,
because Ymir is the true power of the world, and it's like even during the time when Ymir got the power of the Titans. Ymir, that was a time for you to. That was a time for you to be like, I'm transforming into Titan. I'm your ruler now.
That is a rational way for us to think because we're not Ymir. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Don't know how deep that trauma goes. Well, obviously it goes the deepest it could possibly go because. Yeah, so interesting. I think that's what adds to the level of mystery in Attack on Titan, the overall series, is the fact that there is parts where the mangaka doesn't really explain fully to us. So it's kind of like there's a certain level of just like humanity to all these aspects of things that is just like, and humanity is so like is literally like Pandora's box, right? It's like there's so much different ways like our brain can process information and see a different perspective. So it's like there might be one version of Ymir that's like, yo, I'm the queen now, run the set. One version of Ymir that's like, yo, I'm God now, run the set. And then this is just a version of Ymir we got, which is like she doesn't even see the power she has as her power. Yeah. Crazy. But like that emotion was still there, and like Eren just triggered it for Ymir.
That's probably the first time she was hugged in her life, you know what I'm saying?
Or like, yeah, truly cared for, or even like understood in a sense. Yeah.
And it's also the first time I feel like she was given a choice. Like,
that's true.
What do you want to do? We'll do whatever you want. And she said, no, you're right.
Let's run the set.
Let's run the set.
Because I guess for Ymir, I could get like why she's like, if I was out here just for a countless number of years, just in this world, infinite world of just sand, building these random bodies. And you know, I feel like Ymir probably, she started building these bodies and she built them out regular schmegula. And then over time, she just got bored and started making these, different structures and all that stuff and started getting creative. Like, I mean, you're there for thousands of years. You got to find something fun to do, right? But like, oh, let me make this Titan look wonky, you know, man. So I could understand Ymir being in that place for how many years and suffering for that long, that her sense of rationale and morality degrades. And so she's like, yo, you run the set on everybody. I don't care. You know, it's kind of like someone that's like really angry and they kind of lose sense of themselves for a moment and they start just wilding out. Is like, that's Ymir has all the right to do that. like it makes absolute sense. But Eren, I don't know.
Now that I think about it, she's been there for so long, right? The rumbling's been going on for about like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
It must be like so fast for her.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. So it's kind of like, for her it's like end it.
Yeah, it's like moving like 5x speed or 10x speed in real life.
She doesn't have to process the suffering of other people, process other people's lives ending. It's like, for me, it's like a blink. Yeah.
But it was weird. It was weird. Like when the boy was stomped out, he could see her.
Yeah.
That
implied to me, at least. I don't know if was that something that was in the manga.
Yeah, that's in the manga.
Okay, so what that implies to me is that the mangaka wants us to know that Ymir is conscious of everything that's happening right now. Like she's conscious of all the lives being destroyed, all the actions being taken. Like Ymir knows. You know? Which is just like, at the end of the day, it's like I don't personally blame Ymir for the thoughts and actions of what's taking place right now, because she just wants to end it. And like, you know, Eren is the first person that has come to her, that has made to her, that's like, yo, I feel you, this is my way of ending it. And she's like, well, no one's come here in thousands of years to tell me that's an ending, so let's run it.
Everyone's been like, do this, do that. He said, listen, what do you want?
Damn. So I can understand Ymir. I can understand Ymir's mindset of being like, yo, it's either we run the set like Eren's talking about on everybody, or I continue doing what I've been doing for thousands of years. Let's mix it up a little bit, you know?
You know? I mean, and Eren, I feel like Eren, his perception of time is all wonky too, because he lived his dad's whole life inside that split second. I think ever since he kissed Historia's hand, he's been bugging.
Yeah, he's been bugging.
So everything post kissing Historia's hand, I feel like that's a different Eren.
Yeah, because you know, immediately, you know, looking back at it, like the moment he kissed Historia's hand, he started getting way better at using the Attack Titan, didn't he?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So what happened is they find the basement, right?
Right.
They come back, and then they get awarded for their bravery and discovery.
Yeah.
And that's when he kisses Historia's hand. And you don't see him use the Attack Titan until season 4. So immediately after that, he goes to the ocean. And he's like, if I take out all the enemies, will I finally be free?
Oh, okay. Okay, so I guess, yeah, maybe I was wrong about that. So season 3, he was getting better at using the Attack Titan. Okay, yeah.
And it culminated with the ocean scene when he's like, if I take all them out, will I finally be free? So him kissing Historia's hand was like the last 5 minutes of the season. Yeah.
So I guess what Eren's kind of creating for us is that idea of like, so Eren's idea of freedom is basically, I got no worries for the rest of my days. You know, it's kind of like, let me eliminate every possible threat that could be there, so that way I could just chill without thinking of like, oh, let me get prepared for this, or let me make like in a couple decades we got to get ready for this. He's like, hands off.
I don't think that's his exact thought process.
Okay.
I think he accepted the fact that he's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah.
And he wants to make sure before he dies, he does everything to protect the people he care about.
Right. And he's like, you want absolute assurance. He's like, yo, absolute assurance.
So, by that means, it kind of makes sense to stomp out a lot of the world. I mean, listen, he said, listen,
yeah,
I'm going to die. I need a buffer for them as much as I can. I don't need to leave anything up for chance. I gave them chances. He said, I gave them chances. He cut his leg off, gouged out his eye, lived amongst the people for like 11 months or something like that. For a while.
Yeah, he lived with them for a minute. Yeah.
And before he did that, he went to their United Nations meeting, and they were like, "We're declaring war on Paradise. They're the island devils." And he's like, "All right." He waited out for 11 months or so, and then everybody's reconvened together, heard a story from the Warhammer Titan guy, the family member, and they were like, "We declare war on Eren." Eren said, "Listen, I saw this happening in the future. I gave it 11 months to work itself out. It's still happening this way." He said, "There's nothing I can do."
Right. And so I guess Eren's just answering the question himself. That's why I think Eren is so funny in comparison to like another character we both appreciate, Itachi. Because they both basically answer the question in opposite ways. You know, like Eren is like, is us or them? And when you think about it, it's very similar, right? It's like Itachi's he's born of a group of people that have a high capacity for destruction of other people, right? Eren's born of a group of people with a high capacity for destruction of other people. And so Eren answers the question, okay, we're the threat to the world. Should we knock ourselves out, or do we knock everyone else out? And Eren says, knock everyone else out. And Itachi says, knock ourselves out.
You know, I just had an epiphany. Maybe Itachi and Eren are actually the same people.
I mean, it could be different timeline, different universe.
No. Hear me out.
Okay, hold on.
We always think about Itachi and how he sacrificed his family for Sasuke and the Leaf.
Yes.
One thing we don't recognize or don't highlight enough is that he would sacrifice the Leaf for Sasuke.
He never did that.
But he would. That's why he pulled up. He said, "Danzo, if you tried, like, you know, before hit Sasuke with Tsukiyomi in like season 1, he pulled up like, listen, I'm still here. Don't mess my little bro." You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Itachi values Sasuke more than he values the Leaf.
Why do you think that's the case, though? Is it because Sasuke was, at that age, innocent?
He was innocent and he was a younger brother. I think that's all he needed.
I mean, you also got your cousins, you got your dad, your mom, bro. Like,
listen, that's his younger bro. You
got your best friend. Well, your best friend passed away. Like, Street.
His best friend passed away.
Yeah.
That was his younger bro. He said, "Listen, Sasuke's a good guy. He's a good kid. He you know, he's weird sometimes, but he's a good kid." And he valued his brother more than he values the Leaf. I can say that because know what he said? The last thing he said to Sasuke? He said, "No matter what you do, I will always love you."
I mean, love you is different, bro. Like love you. It's like, yes, you could love you. He loved the person, but some people have weird. Like, they'll love a person, but sometimes their decision in terms of showcasing that love is a little bit wonky to other people. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm pretty sure Itachi loved his parents.
Yeah.
Like, when he shed that tear in that scene when he was assassinating his whole village.
Yeah.
He loved them.
I mean, love, I guess, is a spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
He like extremely loves somebody. You know, he loves them this much. So, like, I feel like.
I mean, definitely the love for Sasuke is more than everyone else because he spared him,
including the Leaf.
Okay. Yeah.
So I say Eren is like Itachi because I feel like Eren sees all his people as Sasuke.
Oh. But Eren is also willing to. Remember,
one more thing.
Okay.
Eren sees everybody as Sasuke other than his family because he did his dad dirty.
Yeah! Tatake, Dad! Tatake!
He did his brother dirty. He did his grandparents dirty. He did his mom dirty. Like, he did a lot of people dirty. Like, those.
Also, maybe he's a little bit more like Itachi since he did that to his whole family.
He was probably friends as Sasuke. But yeah.
But even in that regard, like, Eren was just doing what he felt like he needed to do. You know what I mean? Like, he felt like, you know, he felt like his mom needed to die for him to get to this point to assure the absolute freedom. Or I wonder if Eren, because Eren does seem like a character that's like, can I really stop this thing from happening? Or is it going to happen anyway and I just gotta like observe it? But then it's a little weird, because then if it was going to happen anyway, why did you need to give that whole pep talk to your dad about like, yo, they ate your sister, like, what are you doing? Get to work.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
This is weird. Like, I think Eren that's alive, and like we see during the show, he has limited knowledge of what's going to happen. He knows certain things, some key points, some milestones are going to happen.
Right.
For example, season 4, spoiler alert, Sasha gets shot and killed, right? I don't think Eren knew that was going to happen. I think Eren knew that he'd be successful with obtaining the Warhammer Titan. He knew that, you know, he probably saw there'd be a giant nuke when Armin exploded, and he might even saw himself crying, but he didn't even know why. You know what I'm saying? We've seen multiple times when Zeke. Remember when Zeke yelled and everyone turned into Titan? Eren was like, "Yo, don't." he's like, "Don't do it."
True.
And
so he only knows us. He only knows the spark notes.
Yes, because future Eren, I think is. I don't say he's a jerk, but like the way he's trying to like gaslight or lead his past or current self, it's crazy. Like future Eren knows everything.
Yes. Yeah, future Eren is up to date with everything. Yeah, bro. Future Eren is a-hole, bro. Yo, because he has the full book, and he's giving his past self the spark notes.
He's giving him his past self the spark notes. He gave Grisha the spark notes because Grisha is like, I did everything he told me to do. Wow. Will my wife be okay? Will you be okay? And he gets back and he realizes that, you know, his wife was taken out.
Oh my!
And then he's like,
gosh, yo, this adds even an extra layer of context, man. Like Eren is such an interesting character. It's like the self-hate. Like, that's all it gives me. It's like, I know it's not self-hate, but it's giving self-hate. You know what I mean? It's like, I know all this context. I've been through all the tears and everything. Yeah.
But like, that's why I kind of feel bad for his current self. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. It's very lonely how he is right now. It's very lonely.
His future self is manipulating him. By showing him what he thinks he needs to see to keep moving forward. I guess he showed himself that view of freedom with the clouds beneath him and everything like that. He might have blocked out. He's stomping on people. He just sees the view of surfing through the clouds. You know what I'm saying? So current Eren he's in a weird predicament.
He's in a weird position. I mean, like, shout out to this mangaka. Do you know the name of the mangaka?
Hajime
Isayama. Yo, shout out to this dude, bro, because I'm an avid anime fan. I'm an avid manga reader. I'm always surprised at like how deep these mangakas are and like how knowledgeable they are in terms of the subject matter they're talking about and their perspective. But this man, when it comes to creating a character that literally people will discuss for. If people are still talking about Itachi and Naruto and Ichigo, people will definitely be talking about Eren and dissecting his character and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's like he's like conversations of like, oh, would you do it? You know what I mean? It's like Eren. It's crazy, man. We are coming to that time, Doctor, man. We're coming.
This one flew by.
Yeah, this was a fun convo, man. So to finish off the convo, I think here's a fun little question. I think we were kind of talking a little bit about it before. We might even make a whole separate video about it. But, you know, what would you do if you had a similar ability to Eren, where you can your future self now can basically give spark notes to your past self.
Oh.
This is something I was thinking about a little bit too. It's like, because at the end of the day, we're all full people that have gone through our own character developments, right? So looking back on it retrospectively, you're kind of like, I am the product of both good and bad situations that have happened to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you had the ability to spark notes yourself into the, give spark notes to yourself in the past, would you be like, oh, edit out this bad thing that happened to you, or,
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to, right?
See, that's the thing I'm trying to understand with Eren, bro. Is like, does he have power to influence his past? Does he have power to influence the past?
I think the past is the past.
Oh, and
the future will be the future.
Oh, so the spark notes was supposed to be given.
Yes.
Alright, bro, I'm done. I can't. I can't, bro. That's been the discussion on today's episode. Guys, we appreciate you guys taking the time to visit the village hidden within the streets. We hope you guys have enjoyed this discussion just like we did. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment if you have your own thoughts, opinions, and theories down below. Of course, if you're a manga reader, avoid those spoilers down there. And this is Bam, Dr. Griffs. Dr. Griffs, do you have any last minute stuff you want to say to the people before we head out?
I won't say Eren did nothing wrong, but I will say it was understandable the wrong that he did.
Alright, let's end it there. This is Bam and Dr. Griffs. Peace.